ABCDs of World Medical History. European Medicine. Medieval period, 5th through 15th century AC. Medical knowledge stagnated in the European Middle Ages. After the demise of ancient Egyptian, Greek, and Roman civilizations, the Roman Catholic Church stated that illnesses were punishment from God, and those who were ill were so because they were sinners. Suffering was seen as a part of human condition. Medicine was composed of a mixture of existing ideas from antiquity and spiritual influences. Standard medical knowledge was based chiefly upon serving Greek and Roman texts preserved in monasteries and elsewhere. Hospitals were primarily religious institutions, often run by monks and nuns, and mostly attached to monasteries. They provided shelter, food, and basic care to the poor and the sick, rather than advanced medical treatment. I will now cover early modern and Renaissance period European medical history. Between 11th through 13th century AC, early modern medical schools and hospital-like institutions providing basic medical care were founded all across Europe. Much of the curriculum in these medical schools was based on translated works of Hippocrates and other medical scholars of the past. St. Bartholomew's Hospital in London was founded 1,000 years ago in the year 1123 and still continues to provide free care to Londoners. It was in this hospital where William Harvey conducted his research in the circulatory system in the 17th century. The Renaissance period brought increasing experimental investigation, especially in the field of anatomy dissection. Medical teachers and students started dissecting human cadavers. Thus, human anatomy was advanced when Andrea Vesalius published a book De Humani Corporis Fabrica in the year 1543 at the University of Padua, Italy. The Renaissance also saw a shift in thinking, the idea that body was filled with four humors. Instead, body was made up of specialized systems that worked together. During Renaissance time, scientists learned more about how the human body works, and new discoveries such as vaccination came into being. Dr. Paracelsus, a German-Swiss doctor, pioneered the use of minerals and chemicals in the body. Italian Leonardo da Vinci became an expert in anatomy and studied human body. In the 16th century AC, French surgeon Ambroise Paré invented surgical instruments, including ligature, to stop bleeding from amputated limbs and advanced wound care. He is considered as the father of surgery and modern forensic pathology. The medieval and early Renaissance surgical procedures were inhumanly painful, totally unhygienic, extremely dangerous, and beset with increased post surgical infections, sepsis, morbidity, and mortality. Without the thorough understanding and full development of sciences of anesthesia, bacteriology, pharmacology, asepsis, and antisepsis, surgery had to be performed barbarically within minutes, inflicting a lot of pain and bleeding on the patient. The barber surgeons emerged during the Middle Ages and were not only responsible for cutting hair, extracting tooth, leeching and cuffing for bloodletting, as well as performing minor surgical procedures like amputations, lancing of abscesses, setting fractures, extraction of cataract, and kidney stones. Barber skill was important on the battlefield. The history of trauma care and evolution were deeply rooted in military medicine. Many advancements in surgery were discovered on battlefields by barber surgeons through trial and error. Surgery was a last resort means because of the grave dangers that were involved, like intolerable pain, profuse bleeding, plethora of post-surgical infections, and finally, premature death. The Middle Ages, and especially Renaissance period, saw development of improved surgical tools like scalpels, forceps, trephines, suture materials, cautery techniques, stethoscope, thermometer, etc. English physician Robert Hooke designed a compound microscope in the year 1665. Stethoscope was invented in the year 1816 by French physician René Laennec. German instrument maker named Gabriel Fahrenheit invented thermometer filled with mercury and marked with numerical scale in the year 1724. Infections and epidemics of smallpox, leprosy, and plague terrorized Europe from time to time. Physicians still did not know how to cure infectious diseases, control bleeding from the wounds. Microbiology was born when a Dutch microbiologist, Dukenhoek, identified microorganisms with a microscope in the year 1676. In the year 1628, English physician William Harvey correctly described in his book De Motu Cordis, or The Circulation of Blood. English physician Thomas Sydenham visited his patients, taking a full history and making observations and diagnosis. He is often referred as the English Hippocrates. Thomas Sydenham was the author of Observational Medicine in the year 1676. Medical students were expected to learn on the job, on the wards of the hospitals. Medical students and doctors were also encouraged to dissect bodies to further their own knowledge, and were able to use new equipment such as microscope, thermometer, and stethoscope. In the 17th century, English physician Peter Chamberlain invented obstetrical forceps. The father of modern dentistry, French physician Pierre Fauchard, wrote the book Surgeon Dentist in the year 1728. The first successful smallpox vaccine was introduced in the year 1796 by English physician Edward Jenner. French microbiologist Louis Pasteur, or Louis Pasteur, in the year 1857, supported the theory of microorganisms and associated that to the basis of contagious diseases. British surgeon Joseph Lister introduced antisepsis to wound treatment in the year 1865. In 1881, German physician Robert Koch, the founder of medical microbiology, reported discovery of tubercle bacillus. Dr. Koch came up with rabies vaccine. Guy's Hospital in London opened in year 1721, and Pasteur's Institute opened in Paris in 1888. In the 19th century, germ theory and bacteriology came into vogue. Centuries-old humoral theory took a backseat. In the year 1847, in Vienna, Dr. Ignacio Semmelweis dramatically reduced maternal mortality by requiring the physicians to clean their hands before the delivery. French microbiologist Louis Pasteur, or Louis Pasteur, in the year 1857, supported the theory of microorganisms and associated that to the basis of contagious diseases. Dr. John Snow, a London physician, the father of epidemiology, proved in the 1850s that the source of cholera is the contaminated local water supply of London's Soho neighborhood. Catholic women were instrumental in the art of healing in medieval and early modern Europe. The nuns provided free nursing care for the poor. The English nurse Florence Nightingale, the lady with the lamp, a prodigious writer, innovator in statistics, became the founder of modern nursing. Florence Nightingale came to prominence during the Crimean War of the mid 19th century by reducing death rate by improving hygiene and living standards in the battlefield. In 1860, she laid the foundation for first secular professional nursing school in the world at St. Thomas Hospital in London. The doctor physician profession has been entirely dominated by men since the beginning of time, even though women are naturally more caring and nurturing type. From the dawn of civilization, women are always assigned the role of nurses, midwives, caregivers, and other paramedics. As a matter of fact, nurses contributed a great deal to care for the sick and poor during the 17th through 19th century AC in Europe. Many of the wealthy European families felt privileged to let their daughters to become nurses to help the poor and the sick of the society. They offered free nursing care. During the 17th and 18th century AC, which is the age of enlightenment, physicians became more scientific. The medical field was crowded with self-trained barber surgeons, apothecaries, midwives, drug peddlers, and charlatans. Botanical medicines also became popular during the 16th through 18th centuries. Written, edited, narrated, and produced by Dr. M.S. Patil, M.D., Beyond the Shadow of Doubt. A retired physician, but a student of medicine for life, and a world historian. From the very heart of Seattle, Washington, USA. February 2025. Thank you kindly.